Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thank you so much. Guys, I can't talk. It's a couple of days already. Got a very, very bad cold. Thank you, Miss PRH. Oh my god, I'm playing a smock. She's my teammate. Study your tactics, gentlemen, study your tactics. Thank you, Mr. Text Speed. Once again, guys, I can't talk much, so been sick for a few days now. Yeah, we're playing for local Shards team. We just played a match on Sunday, 2 days ago. I was playing board 1 versus 2000. Dude, almost lost. Almost lost to a 2000 player in the classical game. I made one wrong move. Then all hell broke loose. Yeah, once I get better, I'll show you guys. Because I have to do the review of the. I have to do the review of the play-in on February 3rd and then this game. Okay. Thank you. Also, in the news, I'm curious. The game's in progress. This is the loser's queue, right? By the way, I wanted to show you this. No. Wait. No. Let's not do that. My god. Not again. Zimbabwe is banned on DT? What? 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 How can they ban Zimbabwe? Why is Zimbabwe banned on TT? What? Why? What? You got banned? On chess.com? Seriously? Why? Why would he get banned? No. Wow.
10 in a row. I want point back when this bitch fucked up and ban all Chinese too, these motherfuckers. Not right, call them, not right. Right will take 1 day. But you are a fucking mod admin in Chess.com. If you cannot contact, who can contact them? I mean, do it immediately. Right now. Okay. 2 minutes. Go. This is just unreal. I can't believe this. I mean, how many motherfuckers I have to take? There was like 100 players in this fucking tournament, and I've faced one cheater maybe in this, yeah? I found only one cheater in this fucking tournament, yeah? Like from 100 players. And Chess.com does nothing, yeah? Just sit and commentating bullshits, say nothing and do nothing. It's unreal. I don't care. If you will be banned right now, I will not play, I promise you. I don't give two fucks. I will not play any of these fucking qualifiers, I don't care.
King f8. King g7 also looks okay, but I think I can take this and just castle. It's a good move. So they sent me actually an email where, remember how in the qualifier and the play-in it gave me a loss because of the bug of the system? So they actually replied to that, which is nice. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't realize the importance of that match because it was 7 hours already, and I was so freaking tired. My head was hurting. I think after that stress, I got sick actually. Um, and that game against Landremoon was extremely important. It turns out because, yeah, because if whoever wins that match, he stays in the division and starts to play for the knockouts. Okay. So that was absolutely critical match. I didn't know that. I just wanted to get out of there because 7 hours I thought was too much. Yeah, if I had won the match, then I would be playing the knockouts for the money. Then you play for the money, okay? But okay, now we know. Now I know. Yeah, because I thought this tournament was gonna be like last year global championship, you know? In the global championship we played like 2 hours max. But this event was absolutely crazy. It was like 7 hours non-stop. And I lost one point because the system bugged out. It was crazy. It's not my fault the system bugged out. I lost an important point because if I had not lost that point, I would be in Division 2. Okay? Yeah, black can play like this. Yeah, I mean, he was completely winning in this playoff game. But then at the end, guys, you saw this, it was a draw. But yeah, the extra pawn, but the end game was draw. And we both knew it was draw. It would not be a simple draw, but it was still draw. Yeah, but okay. Why cannot take this pawn? And I don't know. Maybe he's okay. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh my god. I think that's the guy who beat me in the playing tournament. This is slightly better for white. Just so you guys you know, this position is slightly better for white. It doesn't happen often. Not a lot of players go for this structure. It is almost equal, but a little better for white, okay? But of course you need to play well here. He blundered rook e8, which is good. Yeah, he plays so badly this game compared to the game he played against me in the play-in. I didn't report him because when I analyzed the game, he was playing a lot of first line moves, but he blundered at the end. I didn't see it. Alright, as I told you, it's 0.2. Yeah, it's nothing big. Yeah, taken d5 is probably stronger, yeah. Fix the pawn on the dark square. This is equal. Equal. Yeah, rook e1 I would play in a tournament game. Knight b5 was very, very strong, yeah. Yeah, rook d3 is first line. Yeah. If he takes. Ah. Okay. Thank you for subscribing, Mr. Gigajet. Thank you so much. Sorry guys, I'm still very sick. Can't talk much. Okay. Mr. LLS on Fontura, thank you for following. Eurosmith, thank you for gifting 3 subs to the community. Thank you so much, sir. Bet on Carlson, what? There's not a Carlson now? Okay. I am curious about Chess TV. Nakamura versus So. Guys, this is very interesting.
What a chess genius. What a Gukesh, you know, what a guy. And he is in the lead in this match. Remember, on the loser's bracket, they played best out of 2 games. So this is must win for Alireza Firouzja and for Mamadou. And here we go. Game 2 has started.
And we've got to remember Firouzja now in a must-win situation. Well, it's an open Sicilian. It's a Najdov. Kaya, your favorite opening?
Yay!
And we should remember Firouzja now. He's lost 4 games in a row. Wow, has he ever been in a situation like this? I doubt ever in his career, to be honest. And, okay, it's a rare variation of the Najdov. Once bishop coming out to d3, and nice little trick here, nice little tactic that we have a little chuckle about here in the studio. But we have to show the idea on the board, because White is giving up a piece. But it's just a bait, piece of bait here. It's poisoned this knight on d4. You cannot, of course, take it, because your queen will be lost. He's pausing. I don't think he's trying to work out if he can take this knight, because there will be a bishop check, discovered attack, and next move, the black queen drops. So we're going to head back towards more.
The idea behind a3 is so you can prepare bishop e3, okay? And you cannot take on b2 because of knight a4, and pawn takes a critical square on b4 and a3. So a3 is a preparation move. It was played by Kasparov against me in our classical game. It's pretty standard.
Pointed out that was his 4th loss in a row, and that is going to be super hard to block. I think this is big disadvantage to Alireza.
Yeah, and he has to avoid going into the tank for too long this time. We know the clock cost him in the last game. And, okay, still early days. He's thinking a little bit now. But Robert, who do you think this opening is going to favour?
I just think that sometimes your strength can be your weakness, because one of Alireza's biggest strengths, he can put any type of position. He is feeling at home, totally comfortable no matter what the dynamics are. But Alexis Serrano, on the other hand, he studies very deeply. We saw in that first game there, he knew the opening better. Here in game 2, it's been an offbeat opening, the queen out early for black, but he is the one who has not spent any time, whereas Firouzja, he continues to think here, and part of the reason why is that black queen slices across the board. The white king will not be able to easily castle, so he's not just thinking about where to move his knight, is Alireza Firouzja, that's under attack in the center. He's trying to figure out what is his 5-move plan, where's his king eventually going to go. Those are the big questions that he needs to answer right now before he makes this turn.
5-move plan. Ooh, wow. He ignores anything. He just goes straight on the attack.
What is with these players just never defending the attacked piece? But it's always as if they seem to epitomize the concept of offense is the best defense. The knight is attacked, he says, I don't care about it, I'm going to go for your own knight. And that's absolutely crazy, because if you do take the knight, the centralized knight on d4, white picks up the knight on f6, and there's another knight hanging, but also black's rook is hanging on h8. Tactics everywhere.
Yeah, it's just total chaos, a big mess, but it feels like a mess that will favour white. Simply black isn't developed, and black's king potentially weaker in the centre here. So I don't think he can...
So the idea is, if black plays bishop g7 in this position, then you take on f6, bishop f6, knight d5, you take on f6, and the knight can go to e2 and to c3 immediately, okay? And white has a small advantage because you know, every trade then accentuates black's weakness on d6. Okay, that's the point behind g5. The second point is if black playing knight d7, then he closes the bishop on c8. So white wins in kind of an important tempo. All right.
A fight. And what is concerning from his perspective is he's spending time. I was just talking about how well prepared he is. He's clearly out of his preparation. He's on his own, which either means that Alireza did not. Just can't study every single line under the sun, and now he has to figure it out. I do think sliding the dark sword bishop up makes the most sense. Let's just defend our knight with our bishop. We don't want to block our other bishop, because knight b8 to d7 keeps our bishop on c8 at home. So I think that after the knight develops, the white knight moves out the way, and then you kind of regret putting your knight in your bishop's path. You'd love to jump over that knight to e6 with your bishop. That's not legal, unfortunately, so he has in fact developed his dark sword bishop instead of bringing his knight out.
Well, the reason he took a little bit of a think there was because once again we have a position that we haven't seen before. It is brand new territory for both these players. And the one point that Alireza needs to keep in mind, or at least show what the point was, with moving that bishop from c1 to g5 in the previous move, is that the b2 pawn is also undefended in certain positions. You have to be careful with that because you can end up losing the queen. But now, for example, David, if you were to fall back with the knight to b3, to defend that central knight, there are so many tactics that you have to keep in mind. Is knight takes the central pawn a possibility? And we need to take a look at that because white might be losing a pawn here. And let's just show the tactics. Now your bishop on g5 is hanging. If you trade the bishop on e7, black can pick up the knight on c3. Intermezzo time, hit that queen on d1.
No, but he has to take on f6, yeah?
Probably the
They
strongest.
say when you see...
He has to take on f6. Yeah, knight b3, knight e4 is very interesting. Yeah, but taking on f6 and knight d5 is pretty obvious to me, so I don't know why he is thinking. He's not going to play knight b3, knight e2 here. Alright, let's go back. Donkey, 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 donkey from China. Triple donkey from China. It's very interesting. Let's move. I'm surprised he didn't take on d6. I mean, black got everything he wanted. Beautiful knight, much better pawn structure. Dream position for black, yeah? Should not be good. Minimum rook c4 is probably playable, yeah. Oops, let's not blunder the king. Okay.
Just double attack. You hit that knight, you hit that pawn, you win that extra pawn, and in the bargain, what has happened is that Black's king is super weak. I'm loving this approach by Gukesh. He needs a draw, but he's not playing for one. And often that's the best way to get it.
Yeah. It's a great game from Gukesh so far. We were talking about creating endgame studies. This is just a really mature performance, and it just looks tough for Ralph. This game we can't look at on its own. It's because of the previous game that he's taking all these big risks. But it looks like those risks are not paying off right now. for advice. I'm looking for ways to kind of defend everything, but I don't think those ways exist right now. What would you be thinking here, Robert, in terms of just trying to cling and together and kind of survive for the next few moves?
I think he might have to advance his knight, right? The knight on f6 needs to jump forward up to h5, maybe to g3, f4, but I do see the problem. He's going knight h5, and this may be why he loses the game, is he's playing all the moves that I've been talking about. But if he can plant his knight in the dark squares, that does give him hope. His pawn on h6 can be captured, likely will be captured, but he's immediately going to cement that knight on the dark squares. If black can completely control that color complex, note that there are light square bishops on the board. That's good news for black, who has great control over squares like f4 and g3, thanks to the pawn structure.
Yeah, we complimented Serrano for his clock handling. Gukesh, so convincing here. 10 minutes on the clock, and he's already made some very difficult decisions, aggressive decisions. It just feels like he's in the flow. He's trusting his instincts, and that really pays off. Maybe due to the confidence he gained in the play-ins a few days ago.
We have a question for you, Mr. David Howell, on the Twitch chat. What chess book would you suggest for an 1800 player?
Okay, interesting question. There's a lot of chess books out there these days. It depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for kind of general advice, then, well, actually, yeah, even that I don't know what to think.
Yes, I just did.
I've got a book suggestion.
I just did, Mr. Giga.
Shevsky's Endgame Strategy. I think it's a fantastic book. It shows some positions, and they look like very normal positions in everyday game because they are in fact from games, and you can work through them, and they have analysis throughout the chapters that can help you improve chess. It's an old book, but it's
Okay, and for basically any level, could enjoy that book?
I think so. I think it is geared towards the 1800 level player, so that's the perfect answer for this person in the chat. So I think it is geared a little bit for a more advanced player, but it's very helpful for players of all ranks.
Fantastic. What book is currently on your nightstand?
Chess book?
Yeah, I don't know. Is it a chess book or is it?
No, definitely not chess books.
Really?
I'm in a book club, so a new book is always there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what are you reading now then?
You said you'd, read about 5 chess books in your life?
So I mentioned 1 out of 5. Don't on my spot.
I didn't know that was as I was asking, I was like, wait, was I supposed to say this? But
Well, you said so.
Yeah, I've not read many chess books. So
What
that
is
is
that?
one I have, right? When I was younger, my coach would say, read these books, and I'd be like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, chess books. Yeah, everybody publishes them, but not many people are reading them.
Stuff like that.
No, there were give me a lot of puzzles. So I was always working on puzzles and studies and things like that, but never reading a book from front cover to back. It just wasn't really my thing. I love to read now, but back then.
How interesting. Well, how about you, Tanya? Favorite chess book? Do you have a chess book that you're reading currently?
I do love books.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty old school like that, and I have read more than 5 books. But yeah, I would close. But I would really recommend the Gelfin series. I think they're really brilliant. The positional decision making, especially, I really like that. And one of the recent courses that I finished, not a book, is a chessable course, and that is the checkmating manual.
Okay.
It's got these different patterns and great for tactics. It's actually one of the courses that I finished before the Olympiad.
But it didn't have to be like checkmate in 1 book.
Yeah, it's been a while. That is one that I would really recommend, and Ramesh's new book. Funny story around that. It's a great book, by the way. It's on calculation and improving your calculation technique. It was at the finals of the tour last year. This was in Miami, the one before the finals, and I remember that Prague, I think, had won his match against Magnus.
Black can play like this, but it's a little bit better for white.
Gifted this book to Magnus, and I was like, that is not great timing, Ramesh. But Magnus loved it and immediately was solving exercises in it.
Really?
It's a great book and definitely one to check out.
Tanya, do you know where that book is right now? That book is right next to my bed. And it's...
Oh my god. I feel like I'm watching The View from the American... Oh, Good Morning America, you know? They should actually name their show like Good Morning Chess or something. Oh, for example, how about The Late Show with late night show with I don't know, whoever. Sure. Alright, standard small advantage. Nothing particularly terrible from black. Very minuscule advantage for white. So it's still a bit more pleasant to play for white this position, of course. Where the bishop goes? Bishop goes to f3 probably. Yeah, now you're very tempted to take actually, but maybe queen d3. Unless I'm blundering something. Well, he wants to trade, huh? It's pretty unusual. I don't want to keep the coins on board, to be honest. Shit. I won on time, but in this I blundered, yeah? Oh, b4, my god. Jesus. Queen b8. Oh, queen b8, of course, oh my god. I'm blundering, yeah? Bishop e4 wins. Jesus. I can't see shit. Yeah, this is okay. Oh, bishop d1. Yeah, you gotta play slow these positions, like bishop here, f3, bishop d3, you know, poke some weaknesses, but in the blitz game it's very hard. Yeah, this. Yeah, but in the end I blundered. 94 protects the queen, okay? I just blundered. It was 5 seconds, okay? It happens. What is Nako doing actually? Why is he not playing? Ah, he'll be playing in this tournament, yeah? Oh, he's actually playing the game, no?
First day off, a day earlier than.
Okay, let's look at the game.
Just only after round 5. So round 5, when the challengers play, it's only them in the room.
No, he's not playing. I'd rather go to the view. Yeah. Let's go back to the view. I'm gonna call these guys the view. These guys are gonna be called the view from now on my channel.
For the young Gukesh, his king is going to be the one that's in more danger.
Yeah, it feels like he needs to
Wow.
pull the break and somehow maybe get the queens off, just find safety in an endgame. Then again, Robert, you mentioned long term.
No, he's not a
in terms of
cheater.
bishops, in terms of the color complexes. That favors black too.
But my god, black now is better.
Feels like nothing's gone wrong yet, but it is certainly momentum black right now.
Black
His
is...
last few moves have been just super impressive. The way black has moved around with the rook and then boxing his king on h8, making sure that the rook on h7 is ideally placed. The rook on g8 is nicely targeting the g2 pawn. And I have to say that despite the pawn structure, it looks like it's white's king that might be in danger, which is why to move queen to f2, offering a queen trade. I like that idea, David. If black does trade queens, white's other rook can jump over to the f file, can double up there, target that f6 weakness. This could be the way that Gukesh says this.
Yeah, just to show if the queens come off, at least you have targets for white, you have some level of safety. But let's go back to the players. At least in terms of body language, Ralph looked devastated about 15 moves ago. Suddenly he looks really interested in the position. Suddenly he looks much more optimistic about his chances. And
yeah, definitely black is better.
Still thinking, now clocks are
Black is definitely better compared to the opening, where white was just completely winning. Black is now absolutely in the game, and he can hope to win the game.
To play, it's not a comfortable way to play this type of middle game.
And he shows his idea. He wants to fall back with the bishop to f1 and then defend that g2 pawn, but absolutely agree with you that there hasn't been that much harmony in white's moves. The rooks and the queen, the last few moves that he's made, have only put them in worse spots. And where are you really headed with that d2 rook, the f2 rook? You've got no squares to play. Meanwhile, black has managed to get all his pieces on the very best squares.
Yeah, that's that for one. That queen. So if we can bring the queen to g3, then white's king is a world of hurt. So I think the queen is going to slide backwards to e7, then over to g7, then try to go up to g3. You need to bring that last piece, the biggest piece, the best piece into the attack. And as David is showing you, that's where the queen belongs. And step one complete. He brought his queen back to e7. This is getting more and more dangerous for Gukesh. And look at the clocks, by the way. Ralph Mamedov, nearly 3 minutes. Gukesh.
I actually disagree. I think queen on c5 is fine. It should be the rook on g3 and the other rook on g7 or something. Although queen on g3 looks pretty dangerous, yeah. But I don't see it like doing any damage. There is no threats. Knight on e3 and rook on f2 just protect about everything. So I can't disagree with that queen g3 thing. All right. I hate this position. I hate this position. I don't know why I keep playing this. I just hate the structure. This is so fucking passive. This is incredibly passive for black. It's queen d8, I think. Could be or not. I don't know. I don't like it. Just gonna offer him a draw. If he wants to play for a win, he wants to play for a win. Psychological testing. Alright, he's blonde. He wants to play for a win. Fine. I can still play this probably, yeah. Bishop f4. 95, 94. I mean, b5 is extremely interesting. This position is extremely interesting, but okay, fine. Yeah, it shows +1 for white. I don't know why. H3 95 first. Yes, that's what I should have done. H3 is to open this diagonal. Yeah, that's how you play this normally. And then you blow up the center, and then you go after this weakened pawn, because now this pawn chain formation is weakened. But you need to play this when you have time or when you're much younger, okay? When I was younger, I could play this position easy. But now I have to calculate, I have to like try to figure out what works, what not. So I play old man chess, I play like this, and it's not good, okay? Apparently c5 wins because my knight is unprotected. He missed it. And white is still much better, but yeah, I mean, it is still complicated. But just queen e2 probably, yeah. Protect the pawn and then you try to go for f5. Yeah, I was thinking knight f6 here, but yeah, but this pawn is like, doesn't belong here. Should be on g3. So something like this. Probably bishop, take. Wait. Maybe even knight, yeah. Yeah, this is definitely better for white. This bishop is dead. Yeah, I should stop playing this. It's not good. Something like that, Mr. MJ. Yeah, something like that. So what's going on in that match? Let me see. It's not Oslo. I think they're in chess. I think they're somewhere in the US.
We'll start motoring.
Alright, let's see it.
See, 5 seconds for Ralph. You have to move. Okay, black's pawn advancing. White trying to kick away the black knight. It's just blow for blow. Black trying to get his ideas on the board, and Gukesh every time trying to shut the door. And if you have to...
Wow, white is better again, yeah.
It's going to be a good sign.
Huge advantage for white.
Ooh, make it move.
He's getting the moves off. They're coming in fast. Rook goes to E1 to stop that pass pawn. And, well, look at Ralph Mamedov. He brings his knight in because the bishop captured. All of a sudden, black is a very far advanced pass pawn. You see the eval bar dip as well. This is anyone's game unless Gukesh has a draw by repetition. That's what he needs to find. He only needs a half point to win the match.
Yeah, I don't think he should be aiming to win this one anymore. Black's pawn is too strong. Okay, the rooks are off. You need to give eternal checks. Otherwise, the black pawn's going to become a new queen. Suddenly, the stakes are extremely high for Gukesh. This is not an easy position to defend with only a few seconds left. Wow, that black pawn can start running any moment, maybe even now.
This is bad. Queen b8.
Ralph is banking no on being the answer.
Queen b8, queen c7 is a draw.
Now you just have to cross your...
No, but you have to give checks along the d file.
He's running towards the queen side. The checks are drying up.
Oh my gosh, he's trying to run behind its pawns, using the shelter. But maybe there's only 1 or 2 pass toward the draw. I wouldn't be surprised if at any moment only one white move makes the draw. But he doesn't have a check along the e file. The black queen takes control of it.
Check on an h, check on d4, king a6.
And then king goes to a6 and there are no checks on the board.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, there's no more checks. He has no checks.
He's making a new queen. There is a threat.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this one looks like it's winning now for Ralph Mamedov. Now, just give a check. Don't allow checkmate. White had the sneaky threat.
Yeah, king a7.
To a8 to mate, but now all checks have dried up. And this one is game over.
Oh, look at that celebration from Ralph Mamedov. He wins it.
He wins it.
What a game.
Wow, Gukesh allowed knight d3. Wow, she was just winning, and suddenly he allowed the trade, and he is worse.
You can't replicate experience, and that one was
He won with black.
Just
Wow,
moves.
okay.
He barely had time, and Ralph Mamedov, he earned that victory. From the start, he played exciting chess. He went for it. He didn't mind losing the game, but he made sure that he had chances from the start, and he won.
We're gonna see Armageddon, you guys. Fantastic. And that was some explosions in the end there. What happened here, David?
Trying to work out what happened. It's so complicated. We talked about this queen endgame where the game was eventually decided. Already at this point, the checks looked like they had dried up, and it looked like Gukesh was crashing to defeat. He didn't find a way to stay in the game. It looks like he should have given a check from the center, but even here, he has to find some miraculous resources to survive. It looks like the checks are disappeared now, but you could throw your pawn forward, trying to create a checkmating net.
Oh, a5. A5, beautiful. Wow.
For a human, this is too difficult to find, I think.
Wow, a5. Holy shit, man.
Just to show how the game ended, after a check, the black king did hide.
Yeah.
Another threat now.
Yeah, okay, but he made a huge mistake not going for queen b8, queen c7, queen d8 checks. It was just that draw.
Very safely, because
I'm just gonna show it to you guys so you know. Well, I can't really show it to you, yeah, because I need to stay in this. Okay, but you guys see what I'm talking. He went queen h6 and he picked up the pawn on f6. Okay, but that was the wrong way. He had to play queen b8, king g7, queen c7, and if king f8, queen d8 check because you hit the pawn on d file, and you also prevent black king from running to the queen side, okay? So that was the right way to do it. I forgot about this check. Just take on d5, yeah. Getting old. Queen c2, perfect move. Queen c2, holy shit. Perfect play, yeah. And he's got the center too. That's terrible. Terrible. Blundered absolutely everything to this guy. Blundered absolutely everything. Yeah, rook c1 check, just draw, yeah. Oh, rook c1, rook e6, oh my god, I didn't see it. What does rook f2 check? Freaking worn. Just rook e1, rook here, rook e6, draw game. Alright, speedy youngsters. That was an unfortunate loss. Although an IM shouldn't be here, to be honest. I don't even know who is this guy, by the way. He is what? 16? 2452. That's a little bit suspicious, to be honest. Alright, let them check him out. I mean, the guy is 24, 88, 82, 24, 52. He's not even a top player. Alright. But no clear mistakes by this guy. That's the problem. He's only 2400. He should be making mistakes. Yeah, that was very suspicious that he didn't protect the pawn. Yeah, rook d1 is normal. Also bc3 is kind of suspicious, but the computer suggests this move. Yeah, this is kind of weird. And this is actually a blunder, yeah. If I play knight f6, rook c8, queen c4, just a little bit better. c8, queen b3. Knight f6 also playable, knight b6. Queen b7, take. Knight d3, knight b4, knight a2, knight b4, knight d3. Okay, it's pretty. Rook d8, Rook d8 with idea of knight e2, rook takes d4. It's not easy to see it. Okay, this was a draw. I actually played well, except that at the very end I blundered. But I don't know. It's a very strange game. Very, very strange game. I mean, he didn't make any like big blunders, yeah. So he played a lot of third and second line moves in the beginning, then went into the sequel endgame, and he in the endgame he actually kept playing for second line moves. That was the thing that actually pissed me off a little bit. That's why I reported him, because the whole game he maybe made only one move which was not top 3, okay, and that's impossible for a 2400 player. That's just impossible. That's why I reported this guy. Because in the end game he played top 2 moves. In the opening he played a lot of top 3 moves. Except knight d4, yeah. That was the only move. All the other moves, like, he played top 3 lines. Okay. Thank you for subscribing, Mr. Hayports. I'm gonna allow this message, but you're walking the fine line, okay? You're walking the fine line with this message. So if I drew instead, I would be at 7 out of 8. Yeah. Yeah, but at the end he found this whole sequence with knight f8, rook h6, rook d6, rook d5, transferring the game into the rook endgame. And I thought that was too much. I mean, the guy's not even Grandmaster. Even Grandmasters, they blunder with so much time left. This guy plays perfect chess at the end, so he's reported for sure. You know, he's got seconds on the clock and he's playing top 2 line moves in the endgame, okay? That's not very realistic. Okay. Yeah, rook f2 was, of course, it's just terrible, but yeah, just check somewhere in 95 maybe on him. Rook e1, rook takes e6 was just simple draw. Yeah, this B3 move, I just came up with it on some Blitz game, and then I thought about it, and then it's actually okay. You know, I'm so used to sacrificing the B2 pawn that I never actually stopped to think that maybe just play B3 is okay. I think B3 is okay. Yeah, this queen on C6, man, is kind of weird. Should not work. Knight b5 looks very strong, yeah. 96. Yeah. I don't know, this position is like, Jesus Christ. Knight c5, he wants what? So I'm gonna trade your knight. Your knight sucks. Queen on b7 sucks. Knight b3, really? Alright, this knight a4, queen b3. Goodbye, Lenin. tricks or something. No. Oh, this guy win again. Yeah, he should be checked actually. They should actually call him. They should actually call this guy because he's suspicious. So Sigurdsson is actually better, but he's not winning. 0.79 is not a win. .93 is incorrect. Wow. Don't you love when suddenly your opponent starts playing first line moves? First line moves, yeah? Extremely tactical first line moves. Very, very tactical first line moves. Queen f2 is the only move, but he had no time. Yeah, this is very, very, very suspicious guy. Very suspicious guy. 93. What? Pretty equal. FM, yeah? FM playing super solid chess. 89% accuracy. Yes, sure. %89 by FM. Okay. Yeah. Execute report. Yeah, this was pretty weird move. It was on the computer top 3 lines though, yeah. Pretty weird. Yeah, this was possible. For some reason I thought I had to take on b6. Why? Leads to an equal position, yeah. Third line. First line. Bishop e4, queen b6, queen a5. Obviously I don't see anything like that. Bishop c8. Take. Ah, but wait. Oh, he has queen b8. But queen d6 is okay, yeah? Then you take. Yeah, just draw. Alright, last game, yeah? Wow. Well, this IM. This very suspicious IM is in top 3, sharing second place. Okay. misplayed somewhere. Misplayed somewhere. Training. Time. Okay. Fine. Just take. Time is important. Choice, man. Okay. Damn. Alright, 4th row, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This guy. He lost 2 in a row. He lost to Wesley and he lost to Jinx. Okay. Wow. Yes, the same guy who found all those great moves against me. My god. Okay. What? What? The guy who played perfect endgame against me, he plays king e8 here? Okay, man. King e8. Sure. Yeah, but against me, he plays first lines moves in that game. Okay. Okay. Happens.
That's why Black decided just to move the rook out the way preemptively. Now, if the capture on b5 happens, the pawn captures back, the knight protects the bishop over there on a7, and there's just no issues to deal with on that side of the board. So this is a tense affair thus far, not a...
Alright, yeah. So you call 2500 person a very strong player. I don't know, maybe to you this 2500 is a very strong player, but I am in the top 100 world FIDE with 2660 something, okay? So to me this guy, the way he played against me was very strong. Yeah, he played basically the top line ancient moves. But when you saw this game against Wesley and Genghis, he just basically collapsed. He was blundering, collapsing, and misplaying his endgames. But against me and against Sugirov, he played really well. Yeah. So, you know, and he's only an IM. He's not even a Grandmaster. Come on, guy, give me a friggin' break. So when I complained, and when Sugirov lost, Sugirov is a very strong Grandmaster, by the way. You know, probably something happened. They called him or something, and immediately after that, his strength went down. Yeah. So guess what? That doesn't bode well for this player. You know, because there's a huge difference between the games where he played like at the very high accuracy level and now at this level. Yeah. So, yeah, it does not bode well. So actually, not this guy. This guy is okay. By the way, what happened? Where I missed my advantage? Oh, Long Castle. Oh my god. Oh, fuck. I've completely forgot about Long Castle. And I should have played this immediately, yeah? But okay. No, but I think it's still okay. Knight d2, very strong. Castles. Okay, it's equal, yeah? Queen c4 is correct. Because you have to stop at 5. He had to play knight b6 some point, yeah. Yeah, at some point. Oh, he allows bishop c5 trade. No, but okay, it's incredible. Like, you know, he's playing very solid moves, yeah. Yeah, at this point I just went for this trade, yeah. And I don't understand knight bd2 at all. What is knight bd2? Why does the computer give advantage after knight bd2 is beyond me, okay? I do not understand knight bd2. It's tactical reason, because if you take with a knight, queen b5 and this clusterfuck of pieces is really bad. But if you take with the queen, there's a check. Apparently the threat is so strong that black is worse. Wow. It's a very strong threat, yeah. Damn. Yeah, but this is impossible to see in a blitz game, especially. So I play queen b5, g4. It's not really that great, but it prevents f5. Yeah, originally I wanted to take on b7 with a knight. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I should play king h2, of course. After king h2, it's a big advantage. But there's seconds on the clock, guys, come on. Yeah, but this is asking too much, yeah. Bishop a5, of course. I mean, bishop a5 is a given. 95 is terrible. Just queen goes to d4, yeah. That's it. Alright, guys, this is the first TT. Денишвар, юный талант, 16 лет, чемпион Ирана, выиграл на днях турнир в Челябинске с перформансом 2700, отличный блицор. Ну окей, мистер Рустемов, если вы говорите, то я тогда вас послушаю. Okay, if Mr. Rustemov vouches for this young talent, then I believe Mr. Rustemov. Okay. That's one thing with youngsters, yeah. That's really double-edged sword. Some of them can be rising and very unstable, can play one tournament really well, and then second game like really badly. In which case, again, my reports should be treated as, you know, as a notice that this guy, he is either potentially brilliant or he's a cheater, okay? There are two ways to my reports. All right, guys, I have explained this many times, yeah? My report sometimes doesn't mean that I think this guy is cheating, but it's a statement that if he is not cheating, then he's going to be very strong, okay? Potentially, you know, world next, I don't know, Gukesh, Duda, whatever, okay? But if he's cheating, then he's cheating, okay? I don't look sad, I'm fucking sick, man. I'm sick. I'm also not sure about what happened with Jibava. You know, the number of curses, cursing or bad language you use in your channel is not the factor of, it's clearly not a factor for banning, okay? I mean, it's free expression of language, yeah? But it's more about, I think it was about, you know, calling the admin or something. You know, these guys are admins and the proctors. They actually have a very heavy job. Okay, I just thought about it. I mean, at the last play in, I played for 7 hours. I got fucking tired. Okay, but these guys, they have to watch every game. They have to set up the games. They have to make sure everything is running. They have to respond to all chat messages. And they have to sit there just as you are. But they have so many, way more, you know, responsibilities. I can understand their job is like fucking hard, okay? They don't deserve being called, you know, names. That I actually agree. So, but I also understand. Okay, okay, we all understand that, right? We all should respect mods. We all should respect proctors. And that being said, we have to understand that the player, he is playing a game. He is in a highly emotional state of mind. Okay, it's a highly emotional state of mind, which means that at this point, player can be very irrational. He can be saying things which come strictly from the emotion. He doesn't have control over them. And a lot of guys, like even I lose control and I then lose track of things that I say. Okay. Yeah, which means that you should ideally be able to say things after you're thinking. Yeah, but it is impossible sometimes, especially during the events like play-ins, when you spend 5-6 hours where a lot of things go wrong. Like remember, I got the 0 because of the system bug. Yeah, and I got upset because because of that I lost qualification to the Division 2, where I could have been paired with another guy, and my mind state would not be so affected by this loss. It's just a snowball effect. Okay, so what I'm saying is that Jabab is being he's been playing the tournament. He is emotionally very stressed. Okay, and he is possibly saying a lot of things. I'm sure he fully regrets later on about saying these things. But at the moment, at the heat of the moment, you do not control yourself. You can say idiotic stuff. Anything is possible. Yeah. Again, I don't think that ban would be proper actually. Yeah. But it's not my decision. Yeah. I just kind of disagree with the ban. But again, it's just a calm decision, right? I just know Jababas for so many years. Everybody knows he's very emotional. Like he's speaking what he thinks. Okay, we should all respect people who speak what they think, because they're not hiding anything. They're really thinking what they're saying. They think. Okay. A lot of people, like they don't have that ability. They just whatever. Okay. But I think we should actually respect people who say their mind, because they care. That means they care about stuff. Yeah. So, and there's also different mentality. Like it goes back to the child upbringing. All right. There are different systems. The child upbringing in the West, in Europe, in the US, and child upbringing in Russia, in former Russian countries like Georgia, Azerbaijan. There is a completely different system of upbringing children, where it is actually norm, and not just system, and not just kids, right? When you grow up, it is quite okay to actually, speak harsh language at your co-workers if you notice they screwed up. Okay. It's just like sort of like pointing out that you screwed up. Please fix the damn thing. It doesn't mean that you're mad at them as a person, but it's just you're mad that they made this mistake. Okay. There's like this whole different mentality thing, right? Oh, yeah, okay. That is part of the problem. Yeah, part of the problem. And it is possible that he's bringing some personal experiences. Maybe, we never know. He probably has some personal experiences with the representative from China, right? And, you guys probably don't know this, but I'm sure you know this, because I speak I speak a lot about it in my streams, that I have huge suspicions for certain people from certain geographic area. Okay, I have huge suspicions, right? For example, from Latin America, right? and you guys all know that, yeah? I mean, whenever I play a person from Latin America, or whenever I play a certain category of, there's a certain category of players which are FMs, which I call super FMs, which immediately, these players from these categories, they immediately raise my alarm bells, okay? I immediately go into this fully defensive, fully alert mode, because based on my personal experiences, and there's been nothing good, okay, from those chess encounters with these guys. So I'm sure Chapava has something similar, and he basically voiced this. He could have used a better language, a more politically correct language, okay? And but I don't think that his expression with regards to Chinese MF errors is actually something that's triggered the ban, okay? Probably it's a combination of factors, okay? But again, it's complicated, right? I agree in certain respect. It certainly is like a racial, but it's not a racial slur, right? It's like a nationality slur. Yeah. But again, it comes from the heat of the moment. I'm pretty sure he later agrees that he has no exact, that what he really meant, instead of saying that every Chinese player is a cheater, right? I'm pretty sure that's not what he meant. I'm pretty sure what he meant was that a lot of Chinese players he plays in online events, those who are not grandmasters, they cause him some moments where he suspected them of cheating. I'm pretty sure that's what he meant. That's what he meant, okay? Pretty sure, like 95%. But what came out, without his thinking, he just basically, blurted this out, and it came out like this, yeah? Again, you guys have to realize, chess players, we're not diplomats, we're not trained speakers, okay? We're trained in the knowledge of playing moves, but not about speaking things. In fact, it is a pretty famous joke that chess players, they suck at public speaking at all right? It's like if you ask any top players about, giving this famous winner's speech, right? Remember, guys, there's such a thing. After you won the tournament, you have to go on the podium and you have to give a speech. And then, feel free to ask the players what they feel about making such speech. And I'm telling you, like 90% of the players who won the tournament, they're dreading this final speech moment because they're afraid to seem absolutely stupid, about saying certain things. All right? And that's at the speech which you can prepare the text, which you can practice, and still there's this huge fear, okay? So in this case about Jabava, I'm thinking it's like maybe things were blown a little bit out of proportion, yeah, because I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to say that all the Chinese players are cheating, okay? I'm pretty sure that's not what he meant. All right. Yeah, he was banned from prize events in 2023. Exactly, Mr. Chiranmao. Actually, Mr. Hayports, I think that's probably the real reason, okay? That's probably the real reason. If you're a chess.com streamer, you're not actually you're not allowed to criticize much the chess.com, okay? That's pretty weird thing, but that's the reality, okay? You're not supposed to criticize chess.com. So this is the reason why I took down my Twitter about this loss, because of the system bug. Yeah. Because partially, okay, I had this problem once before and I forgot about it, okay? I mean, it is still a problem with the system. It's still a systems bug, I believe. But, you know, these guys, they've been having so many tournaments to run. They have been, you know, having all these problems with the website running at all, right? So they don't really need this negativity, okay? Sort of. Let's put it this way. There are several ways to look at this. I was very unhappy because I personally suffered, yeah, because of this. But at the same time, I understand, you know, that some things, like, you know, when you have so many things running, they're sort of beyond your control, yeah. And they're trying to do their best. Having said that, it doesn't mean that, you know, they should just, you know, take off all their responsibility from this. But yeah, I'm trying to see the bigger picture, okay? I'm trying to, you know, understand people and give them some slack sometimes. So, and again, thanks to chess.com, we have so many events running, right? We have amazing number of events. We have now this Champions Tour, for example. All right, let's go to the Champions Tour. Let's see the games. There are currently the games in progress. Nakamura versus So. And Gukish beats Mamedov. Okay, so Gukish qualifies. Erigasi plays versus Carlsen. They've met before in Magnus Carlsen tournaments, in rapid tournaments on Chess24 before Chess.com and Chess24 merged, okay? So Erigasi, he has pretty decent experience playing Carlsen. As we can see, Magnus ran into worse position out of the opening. Now it's about even. F5, E4, okay. F4 looks correct. But now you have to play something like C4 and prevent white C4, yeah. Yeah, you had to play C4, I think. Try to block this bishop, because if white takes, you get sort of double pawns. It seems very reasonable. Because now white has a beautiful knight, pressure on this pawn. Black should be okay still. Yeah, this looks wrong. Yeah, bishop should be like on this diagonal, yeah, hitting this pawn. I don't know. Yeah, black plays like very defensively here. Rook d5. Yeah, the knight starts to travel around, and ideally this knight is going to f2 d3, hitting these guys. Again, this is a position like which used to be Magnus' bread and butter sort of stuff. Okay, but now that he retired, he doesn't study or practice chess so much. He actually gives people a chance. Like this knight g5 was a very strange move. Maybe it's correct, and we also have to take into account the blitz specifics of the game. This is kind of a weird move, but okay. Because now this pawn is pronouncedly weak, yeah, and this pawn potentially can create some danger if you get black to play g6, but queen f3. So the game is in progress. Magnus has a huge time advantage. According to the computer, this is pretty equal. I don't know. The problem is that this pawn is alive, yeah? And the bishop can get to this, and this bishop protects a lot of key squares, protects the pawn, hits the rook, potentially hits this pawn. I would say white is still slightly better, but with seconds on the clock, it's not so easy. They do have some increment, right? I don't know what kind of increment they have. Oh, I don't like this. Remember I told you like you need this pawn? Because now the dark squares are really weakened. Which means black cannot go into any pawn trades, because if queen and bishop ever get to this diagonal, black is just lost. I really don't like this move. I think this move was wrong. Alright, but let's watch the commentary, okay?
It's just widening his eyes there.
Yeah, what is that about?
I think shocked by this last decision by Eric Dicey. It did feel to me like Magnus was trying to provoke this move. I think Magnus would have happily invested 2 or 3 moves to provoke black to push his pawn to g6. But Magnus now just needs to find a killer blow.
And black is just holding on by a thread in this position with those rooks. One of the ideas that white can actually have is to trade one pair. You could also put the queen and triple up on the d file and then go in with the rook, go to d8, trade off, make more use of these dark squared weaknesses that we're talking about. Imagine if one pair of rooks gets traded off, the e5 pawn will be such a glaring weakness in this position.
Yeah, I like that idea as well. Tanya, of creating the Alekhine's gun, just moving the rook, for example, sliding the queen behind, and then just breaking in through the open file towards the black king. It takes a while. I'm not sure whether you have that luxury, but that will be on Magnus's radar, or as you said, just swap off one set of rooks. Looks very simple. You could also run on the
what I think that Magnus will do, he's gonna move his queen and play f3 and protect the e4 pawn just in case. And you need to get your queen. The commentator said that you can do the Alekhine gun on the d file, which indeed looks pretty good. But I think that there is nothing wrong with just queen e2 and queen b2.
Magnus pushes his pawn to g3, and then eventually the second pawn to f4, and opens up that bishop on the long diagonal. Because if that pawn e5 is gone, the full length of
I actually saw this picture of Magnus staying at the Chesbra house. Yeah, I think you had a lot of fun there.
Not the white queen on the same diagonal as a bishop. Boom. Checkmate.
I like that new feature, David.
I'm learning tech stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah, it might take a while, but Magnus will be looking for those types of ideas in the next few moves.
All right, and less than a minute for Arjun Erigaisi. What do you think right now, Robert? Will the Indian lose this first game in this match?
Yeah, he's playing Magnus Carlsen. He's down a ton on the clock. He has no real ideas in the position.
All right, they're talking about some win. Okay, let's look at those wins. All right, so actually let's look at some games. I haven't seen any games at all. All right, let's start with Carlsen versus Serrano. Yeah. This is pretty much Dubov's plan. Yeah, I mean, Magnus is using a lot of stuff that Dubov came up with before his prep against Nepo match. I'm pretty sure h4 is one of those. Yeah, okay. Yep. And long castle at some point, yeah. Yeah, this is so smacks of Dubov prep. My god, only Dubov can come up with something like this. So you see the point of h4 protects the knight, so you can castle, then if something happens to this knight, you open the h-file. Yeah, this is certainly Dubov stuff. And g4, yeah, very strong. And now just extra exchange. Bishop goes to e6. Trade the rooks, of course. Make the rook more powerful. Knight f6. Centralization. Queen h5, rook e8 is coming, yeah? Rook e7 resigns, okay. Yep, clean opening victory. Alright, now... This is considered to be better for white. a5. c5 is... d4. Oh, queen d4. Oh, but this is advantage white. This is for sure advantage white. How can white lose this? Oh my god. No way. No way. Oh my god, you didn't take on d5? What? Yeah, just take on d5, it's advantage. He wants to keep the knight and put the knight on d6, but yeah, but if you play like this against Magnus, you have to calculate really well, otherwise he just grabs all your stuff. Boom. White is paralyzed, yeah. Knight cannot move because protect the pawn. Rook is stuck protecting this guy. Yeah, it's computer says it's equal, but in practice it's just not equal. Okay. Yeah, f5, f pawn moves. So he finally rook d2, knight c7, grabs on e5, best defense probably. Check, knight d5. He missed check on knight d5. Knight d5, knight f4, transfer of the knight to f4, g6, rook d7 with decent drawing chances. Wow, this is actually super complicated, gentlemen. This is super complicated. But king g3 smacks wrong, yeah? Yeah, f4, g5, game over. f3. Yeah. Yeah, very clean. Yeah, very, very clean. Magnus is still Magnus. And the last game, okay. He just needs a draw, so easy draw for Magnus. Actual advantage. Big advantage. Black's pawn structure is terrible. King is terrible. Everything is terrible. Rook b6 with idea of d5, but okay, rook f6. Just sack the exchange. Actually, a very, very smart choice. Wait, it's not the sack actually. You cannot. Yeah, you can take it, but okay. The reason is that, you know, this knight was protecting everything. But now with this knight gone, you sacrifice an exchange, but because the position is closed, black rooks are not really that great, and white rook took over the only open file. And after this exchange, black pawn on a5 is weak, this pawn is weak, king is weak, potentially bishop c4 is coming. So this exchange sacrifice on b7 is a great practical trade, because white guarantees himself that he will never be worse in this position. Because if any pawn moves, this opens the bishop, rook, and queen to the attack, okay? So great practical decision. Yeah, I'm not sure why he didn't take the pawn on a5. That was kind of weird. Okay, he takes now, queen c7. As you can see, black is lost. Bishop d3. Take the pawn. Oh, and force the draw. I mean, white is better, yeah? 3 pawns and a bishop for the rook is too much. Okay, so that was Carlsen versus Rana. Let's see, Gukish versus Nakamura. What am I missing? All right. Another h4. Very interesting. Yeah, but in this position, okay, you have to play actually f4, e5, d5, d6. You give this pawn, but you put your pawns like this, okay? And that which makes this knight terrible because he has no future. Alright, guys, just for your information, okay? You have to play like this, okay? F5, and play D5, E5, and if bishop A6, then you just play D6, okay? That's how you play with white this position. You give this pawn, but in exchange for this pawn, what you get is this knight on E8 is completely cut off. Even if black managed to play G5, maximum this knight can go to his G7, H5, where he'll be again cut off, okay? So this is maybe, you know, you don't win with white, but you don't lose, yeah? Because simply black is knight down. But if you're trying to win this, it's hard, yeah? But just know that there is this idea in such positions, okay? But H4 is very strange. I don't know this move. I don't understand because, I mean, black wants to play G6 anyway, and you just completely locked black king. You need this knight on D5 ASAP, but you're not gonna get it. And bishop E3 is terrible because this is the square for the knight. You need the knight here to go to D5 because that's the only square you can go to D5 from, okay? So you don't put your bishop on E3. I don't know why he's playing like this. Because, like, what is the purpose of this move, yeah? Maybe F4 and F5, but... Oh, knight B3 and knight D4. And now this pawn is weak, because after the trades, the knight can go G4, H6, attack it. But, okay, it's still a game, yeah? King D2. Yeah, he keeps ignoring the pawns. Knight B5. Maybe black is okay. But you just give him a pawn. Yeah, white has no compensation, yeah? Because once the rook is here, knight goes to C5 and then knight E6. And king goes to E7. Black has extra pawns to win. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. All right. Good job. Yeah, I play this as white. And the thing is that, yeah, you have to put this knight on E6, okay? This is the best square. But usually what I do here with white, I take on here, G5, Queen G4. Because if you put the pawns on G5, H4, you sort of disconnect F and E pawns. And it's better for white. And after knight E6, I think it's equal. Yeah, I think black is better here. Yeah, you had to play D4. Now H4, yeah, and G5. Wait, Naka. Oh, he missed E4. Oh. So Gukish played really well, but he missed E4 because you need the knight on D3. Okay. Sometimes you get this by playing knight C5 and then E4, knight D3, but he has a tempo. But he missed E4. Beautiful stuff. And then just take and bishop F4. Wow. And the queen D3, the knight G. Oh, you take on C4 and get the rook D8. Wow. And if you take on F6, it's obviously rook E2, yeah. So Gukish missed his chance actually to win the game. Because if you take on E4, now you take on G2, and then you take on E4 with the knight, and you play bishop E5, you trade this bishop, and there is no mate here, okay? But he misplayed. He took first here, and now, you know, yeah, it's advantage white because this knight is dead, yeah? which means any endgame is dead, winning for white. Knight gets beautiful square on a4, but this knight on h5 is just, yeah, it's a win for white, obviously. Yeah, the queen trade, of course. Oh, he actually went for the trade, my god. Actually, he survived here a little bit, yeah. But you cannot survive for long. Knight h6, rook f7 coming. Beautiful. Rook c6. Yeah, the idea is if here, then you have check. It's mate, actually, yeah. Yeah, but then... Wait, so what he missed? He, what? There is a chance? What? If you play rook a4? The idea is knight h4, rook a2. Wow. Gukesh missed his chance actually to create more problems. He played this. Knight g5, beautiful shot. He missed knight g5, yeah? And it's still only one pawn extra, so... Oh, he missed king e7, knight g6, rook g6, knight h4, fork. Wow. Now he loses second pawn and then it's game over. Yes, game over now. Still not easy, yeah? Now it's easy. Well, it's high quality game, what can I tell you? High quality game. Alright. Whoa. London against Nakamura, after all the practice I gave him in this opening. I don't think it's a smart idea. Just equal. Equal. Black is better. White has too many loose pawns and open king. Black is just completely winning. Black is winning after rook e6. With idea of bishop d6, okay, I think Naka missed that. I think he missed that he has bishop d6 check, and if you take on d6, rook protects it. But bishop d6 is deadly because queen g4 is coming. So he went for this, which is just, you know, easy draw, yeah. Alright, so we saw Regesi versus Firuza, Wesley versus Mamedov. So what's happening in this game? Magnus won. Naka versus Wesley. It's usually, you know, these two guys are strategic geniuses, okay? So... heavyweights, okay? Yeah, this is a little better for white. It's a standard Catalan position. They always play Italian and Catalan or something like that, and it's like a lot of draws, and then when they get to this sudden death playoffs, Armageddon, that's where usually Nakamura wins. Or sometimes Wesley wins, yeah? But usually it's like draw. Yeah, because these are super solid people. So let's watch, so Erigasi actually lost this eventually, yeah? So let's see the g6. Bishop a1, Magnus move. Queen goes to c3, yeah? Oh, queen b3, interesting. He was afraid, yeah? He was afraid to take on c4. Ah, take on c4, rook g6, that's actually... No, but this cannot be good, yeah? See, the computer plays f3. I like this. Tries to, you know, eliminate white pawn structure. Yeah, you don't have to win by mating attack. You just have to take a lot of pawns. Okay. That also wins. See, this endgame is just the difference in the bishops. This bishop does nothing. This bishop hits all the weaknesses, and rook hits everything. That's the difference. Dubov Gata preparation. You know, actually we should like make the creators of the God of War, we should offer them this chance. God of chess prep, yeah. Make this game like God of chess prep. And then you go with Dubov and you travel with Dubov to all his events and you feel like how he's preparing and then how his preparation turns out in the actual games, how his preparation helps Magnus. You know, but I guess it'll be sort of documentary more, yeah. Yeah. I mean, there'll be so many gods of something in chess, yeah. There's god of chess prep, there's god of endgames, there's god of, you know, middle game, god of attack, god of defense, god of understanding. There'll be too many gods, yeah. So, no. Besides, we're in the modern age, man. Okay. And some people into sort of monotheism, yeah, because if you have too many gods around, it's not gonna work. All right. All right, so let's go see more. So Gukish and Mamedov. Actually, I want to see this last game. It's nice that Gukish came back. He actually picked white, knowing that his opponent needs a draw to win match, yeah. But very interesting. Black is absolutely equal, but it's still a pressure, yeah. I don't like this move. A little bit too early, and this pawn is loose, yeah. A4, F5, and Mamedov is actually, you know, he's one of his weaknesses, I think, in my opinion, is that his endgames are not quite... He's a very dynamic attacking player, okay? So naturally, those dynamic attacking players, they actually are not that great in the endgames because it requires technical expertise. There are only very few players that I know that are good at both, and Alexei Shirov is among them, yeah? You cannot forget the great Shirov, guys. B3. Oh, B4. Excellent understanding. The knight goes to C5. And if you take, rook takes, black is stuck with this weakness. Nice. But this is bad. Yeah, after knight C5, just terrible, you know? Rook C4. White wins the pawn. And knight D3 is beautiful move. Because check and knight C4. And black is stuck with a lot of weaknesses, potentially running into knight E5, E4, bishop G5 mate. And this pin is huge, okay? This is a winning pin, I would say. Yeah, this is a win for white. So this rook B2 move was a big blunder. Okay, the computer says you have to play rook A8, immediately trade this active rook. I completely agree with this statement. If you can trade this active rook, black has a chance because you have the knight on a good square, okay? Blockading square, and with all white pawns on the dark squares, black has a good chance. But he plays rook B2 and he blunders this check. And E4 bishop G5 is coming. What? Oh, he has another idea. He wants to play E4, bishop G5, take on E7, knight D6, rook A8 mate. Yeah, that also works. I mean, why has so many mating ideas based on knight E5, rook F7, huge mate threats. and resigns, yeah, because bishop g5 is coming. Yeah. All right, very impressive, yeah. Nice win. And again, this is heavyweight draw. And I want to see how Firouzja lost to Serrana. This is pretty crazy. See, Serrana is very, very strong. You guys remember how when I played Serrana, it was always like this very tense struggles, yeah? A lot of great games actually. I had a lot of great games with Serrana. We're actually playing real chess. Sometimes he tries to flag me when he cannot beat me normally, but you know, it's part of the game, right? So Serrana just got extra pawn. The way he got it, what happened? e4, bishop e2, and Alireza didn't find a6. He played d4, but bishop d2 is a very correct move, and white keeps the extra pawn. Extra pawn is everything in chess, okay? Oh, knight a4, brilliant. You guys see this brilliant counter strike, right? Attacking both queen and the bishop and transferring the game into the endgame. And there is no rook d8, because the bishop controls the square. If there was rook d8, why would we have problems defending these pawns? But he doesn't. And he has to play bishop e5 and allow bishop c3, yeah. Knight c5. This bishop is what makes white's advantage. Controls so many squares, pawn is targeted. If you play the pawn, knight goes to e6, the bishop has no moves. Yeah, this I don't... Ah, rook a1 is even better. Why is knight a6? Knight a6 is also okay, yeah. But the b6 is actually a mistake. You had to play rook at b8, apparently. And go for the terrible pawn structure. Yeah, this poor bishop on b6, man. e5, rook a1. Pair of bishops. Yeah, this is extremely unpleasant position for black. I'm not sure why would you trade the last pair of rooks, though. Ideally, you need to keep the pair of rooks with the bishops, because you combine threats. Your rook can combine threats to a7 pawn, and then shuffle to the king side and help push these guys. Yeah, you don't want to trade the rooks. I don't understand why he traded the rooks. Because now black has a chance. Yeah, now black has a chance, but it's not simple. King b3, king a4, yeah. King c6, check, king. Yeah, Alireza is doing pretty well, except here, yeah. Bishop e5. It's hard to see, yeah. It's hard to find, to be honest. It's very hard. Bishop e5. It's hard to find. Knight f4, correct. Knight d3. Very, very well, very good defense by Alireza. Oh, he blundered. Oh, he blundered. He had to give a check first, yeah? Ah, just one move blunder, guys. You had to give a check first on c7. Because if king a4, you take this pawn with a check. Okay? And then this knight comes out. Bishop g3, knight f2. And if king b5, knight b2. Nice. Because now, after this, the knight is not going anywhere. Oh, he blundered. Ah. Yeah, well, see, it's very hard to defend this, yeah? Because knight comes here, and then bishop g3, or bishop f4, and knight goes this way, and it's a draw. Damn. G5. Beautiful move. Prevents H5. And you win the knight, yeah. F4 is actually first line. Yeah, it's actually a very amazing performance by Serrano in this game. Yeah, Serrano is like, you know, he can play extremely well. He can play extremely well. So who is gonna... but he lost to Magnus, yeah? But they going through the loser's queue, which means like in the esports, yeah? If you win the loser's queue, you're back in the final match against the winner of the winner's queue. Right, okay. So I'm thinking Serrano is actually improving, like he's constantly improving in chess. I don't know about you guys, but in my eyes, Serrano is becoming one of the top players now, to be honest. This looks good for white because of knight on d5, but if you play Sveshnikov, you understand that this pair of bishops is very strong, and black might play f5, f4, knight c5, b5, and this knight on d5 looks pretty, but is useless. It doesn't do anything, okay? It's just, you know, you need some targets to attack, not just have a nice, pretty piece in the center. The other problem is the famous two pieces fighting for the same square. White has two knights and they're both fighting for the square in d5, which means this guy is useless also, okay? So that's why black position is okay. Queen e2. Probably incorrect, because allows like b4 ideas, or 93 actually, yeah. Bishop d5, try to play knight d3, trade the useless knight. Oh, knight a2. Why? Yeah, I mean, again, it's very hard, because if you take on e6, black takes with the pawn, right? And immediately white knights have absolutely zero squares. So this is nice Sveshnikov line for black. a4. Alright, so this is equal. Alireza is trying to do something, but you know, he's still in the territory where he's being equal. But he probably, because he lost the first game, he needs to win this game. But this endgame is good for black because this bishop is coming on this diagonal. Once the bishop arrives on this diagonal, black is better, okay? Because suddenly you have this knight g3 mating ideas, okay? This is very dangerous position for white. Very, very dangerous. He has to be like playing very precisely. King f8. Not necessary, but king goes to e7 to protect the bishop, the pawn. You protect the pawn so your rook can leave, okay? Makes sense. Yeah, I would say that, and the problem if you try to play g3, black can just play h3. You can never get to this pawn. This bishop is way too strong. And the problem with this knight is that if you play something like knight b6, black can even take and play a5 some point. So you need this knight somewhere. You need to play like c4, b3, and then put this knight back on c3. But by that time, black plays king e7, rook h8, knight h5, right? So I don't know. I'm getting... Yeah, I think black is better now. And now this b6 pawn is potentially weak. Yeah, I kind of disagree with this trade. You need this trade, yeah? Otherwise, knight gets somewhere. Yeah, this is extremely complicated position, guys. Extremely complicated. One wrong move and somebody is better. Yeah, this is wrong, yeah? This knight is terrible. You need to take with the knight, obviously. Rook c4. Knight f6 or f5 actually makes more sense, yeah. f5 and push the pawn majority makes more sense, and then rook h7, knight f6, king, rook h8. Okay, rook c4 is still okay. Knight goes to e3, rook b5, and you have to play knight c4 here, yeah, which he did. If knight e3, then f5, yeah. Yeah, see, black rook on c5 does so many things. And the question is like how black can win this though, yeah? So now that the pawn is here, you don't have the pressure on the d6 pawn. This rook goes somewhere. Potentially knight probably goes to attack this pawn with rook b5. I don't see quite yet how black can win this. Black has a big advantage, that's for sure. But g5, I mean, why? No. Well, the idea is black wants to play rook c8 and rook b5, so you don't have b4, yeah? The knight is under attack. But g5 is like... Oh, he just blundered the knight. Yeah, okay, he had 10 seconds on the clock. 10 seconds, not much. Yeah, but even if you play knight a5, it's rook b6. Black has extra pawns, superior pieces, everything is weak. Yeah, again, a very impressive game. Sheriff statesmen are a disgrace. Hard to respect this guy now. What? What are his statements? What are the sheriff statements? I don't understand. What are his statements? He's operating with the official info to say there is a huge amount of irregularities in young players' games. Like, tell me something that I don't know. I don't know. Taimanov made a card with this knight h5, knight g3 idea with bishop c5. No idea. But it's pretty famous, man. It happens a lot. I'm pretty sure it was played even before Taimanov's time. All right, let's go back to the main game. Magnus is playing white. No, Magnus is defending. Yeah, he is pawn down actually. Yeah, so how did he lose this pawn? I'm curious. Yeah, he's just worse. This structure is worse for black. Bishop a6, according to the computer, is way too early. Queen c4. Knight d5 with the idea of knight b6, but c5 looks okay. Queen a2. Yeah, I'm looking with one eye at the engine line, but this is pretty weird. Knight c5. Yeah, I had to play bishop b4 first, according to the computer. Oh my god, okay. Because you know there's ideas like knight take e6, but then queen c6, tactics, there's a lot of tactics. Knight c3, now black. Queen e2 is great move, yeah? This is great move, prevents queen d3. Knight d5. And yeah, he has to cut his losses and try to go into 3 versus 4 endgame, which probably is a draw. That's why knight d5. He just wants this pawn, yeah? He doesn't mind trading these guys, but... what is this? Why cannot you take on c3 and take on a4? What? Queen a8 is equal, but why not take on c3? Oh, knight c6! Wow! Nice trap! Nice trap! Wow, okay. Knight c6 wins the game for white. So he has to find queen a8 now. And after that it's equal. More or less. Why is it equal? If I take... Oh, you take on d5 first. Ah, and the bishop is hanging. Ah. I'm missing tactics, guys. I'm missing tactics. So bishop d2, what happened?
Have that much time to figure out these complications.
Yeah, crucial position. Let's go back to the players, and maybe we can get Stockfish. We need a bit of help here. It looks like Robert dropping that queen back. You might be right. Is that the only move? How big is the margin of error for Magnus Carlsen right now? 1 minute on the clock, and queen a8. It's not obvious. It's not an instinctive move. It's the move you can get to by process of elimination, by deep calculation. But Magnus hasn't played it yet. He's frozen. 1 minute on the clock.
There's just so much tension on the board right now. Just everything hanging. The knight jumping to c6, trying to find a good square for that queen. I'm shaking.
Yeah, he needs to play it. Otherwise, Arjun is going to strike back.
He looks frustrated, Magnus. And let's bring up Stockfish suggestions. Does he have several options, Magnus? Is he walking a tightrope here?
40 seconds now.
Wow.
Countdown. And wow, Robert, you're completely correct. He can limit the damage by dropping his queen all the way back to the corner. But very difficult for a human to spot. It does take time to work that one out. Anything else gives white a significant advantage. Not decisive, but something to play with. And,
20 seconds.
Is he going to find it? 20 seconds.
Yeah, the second option, bring the knight back to b6, allows white to trade the queens. That's clearly not what he wants. But queen a8, there's still so many pieces left, and he's down to about 10 seconds on the clock.
No,
and
what is
did he lose
happening?
connection?
He needs to make a move.
Frozen.
8-7.
Oh my
5
God.
seconds for Magnus Carlsen.
Got to move Magnus, and he
He
finds the best
it.
move.
Wow.
He drinks that water. Look at him. Well, I deserve a little refreshment. And he plays queen 8. So the knight on d5 is defended. If you look at the best suggestion is white's knight hopping over to f5. That is too wild. But Arjun has over 3 minutes remaining. He can find those kind of ideas. You see that it says it's about level, though. So Magnus, he still has a lot of work cut out for him. But queen 8 was the step in the right direction.
Yeah, especially with 11 seconds on the clock. And out of those 3 suggestions we saw for white, all of them are very tricky for black to deal with. So
11 seconds on the clock to find
his
queen
job is
a8.
to just set a trap. At least set a pitfall.
Yeah, 11 seconds on the clock against strong grandmaster in the worst position. I would be blundering stuff here this time probably.
Knight jumps now for white. Just force Magnus to think. Don't give him time to calculate. Come on, Arjun, you can go for it.
I'm stunned that Magnus found that move in just seconds, and this is why getting a good position against Magnus is just half the job done. The guy is so hard to beat. Even with seconds on the clock, he finds, and I mean, queen 8 was a very difficult move. It's a retreating move, and you've got only seconds on your clock, just amazing stuff there. Arjun's got a lot of pleasant choices, but he needs to make sure that he keeps the pressure on the clock, because that's equally important.
Yeah, 2 minutes now for Arjun. It feels like the tension of this game is getting to both of them, and at least in terms of time consumption here. I'm not sure which one I would go for. Knight f5. Once you see it, it's 2 times.
The threat is black wants to take on c3, take on a4. That's an obvious one, but if you protect the knight on c3, black plays knight b6, attacking the queen and the pawn. Okay? That's why black equalizes.
And who had won in consecutive years. So Arjun has proven on the biggest of stages that he can do it, but there's no bigger stage than facing off against Magnus Carlsen. Kind of a must-win situation, I feel like. He lost game 1. It was quite convincing in Magnus's favor. He really needs to win this game because a draw, he'll still be losing on the scoreboard. You don't want to go
It's a replay?
Magnus Carlsen white game.
What do you mean it's a replay? It's not a replay, it's a live game. What are you talking about? It's a live game, man. It's what's happening here. Okay? It's not a replay.
That he will go for knight f5.
Yeah. You don't get many chances against the world #1. You need to take this chance, Arjun Aragaisi.
Yeah, and if he doesn't take this chance, if this game is a draw, Magnus has a chance to end it in the next game in 3. Magnus will have white again, so everything rides on this next few moves for Arjun. Under 1 minute now. Oof.
Oh, David, he's playing on seconds as well.
Yeah, in this type of situation, it will be so easy to take the kind of solid way out, but here, you just have to go for it. You won't get a better chance than this. Arjun, will he land a knight in? Will he just trade off knights? If the white a-pawn drops, it's going to be a draw. So stakes are very, very high. Okay, he pushes forward. This was one of the top 3 moves, according to Stockfish. How tricky is it, though? And Magnus calculated this one super quickly, gobbling the pawn immediately. This walks into some discovered checks, some double attacks, but Magnus, I think he's worked it out.
Yeah, he has, because there's a stare down between a bishop and a queen. So when the knight moves out of the way, those pieces will be looking at each other. So there are attacks. Look at this. It's like a pre-move. Magnus takes that knight back. His queen is hanging on a5, but if you take that queen, you lose yours on c4. And if you take that pawn on d5, you lose your bishop that is sitting there on d2. So
now they're both around 10 seconds.
And you lost your time advantage as well. Has Arjun messed this up?
He could lose this. I mean, both sides could lose this. Now it's a bullet scramble.
Wow, Magnus dropping down to a few seconds. He moves his queen. So calm. But the worst is definitely over. He has consolidated equal material. Isolated pawn for black in the center, but not easy to attack it for white. And both kings, some threats against them. It might be completely equal, but still far from a draw.
Oh, watch out for forks. All of a sudden, there are forks. If you move your queen to the b2 square, the
21,
the rim of the board,
96 is just draw.
So Arjun, he's in big time trouble, just like Magnus. It's a bullet scramble. It's seriously.
Yeah, 96, just draw.
And
Pre-moving.
yeah, very much pre-moves here. And black's knight has planted itself on a solid square. White's knight is on a dream attacking
Yeah, but
outpost.
black is getting better.
Could be anyone's game, but the knight is getting kicked back. Risky move there from Magnus, opening up the black king slightly further, but
just take
this
bishop
knight trade,
d4,
and now the
bishop
game will
c5.
calm down. I think we're headed towards a draw.
Queen d4, just draw.
Wow.
We've got to catch our breath. That was a really tense battle, but a draw is almost inevitable now. It's 4 versus 4 in terms of pawns, no passed pawns, and everything else being equal, the queens.
Queen f6,
cancel
queen c2, queen c1,
So
queen
even with the clock
c7, draw.
still ticking with seconds left on the clock, there should be a draw.
Queen c6, yeah.
Not much left to play for.
Oh,
We
check,
see
check.
checks on the board, and there's just one weakness that black has, which is the d5 pawn. It can
24
easily be defended
probably, yeah.
by the queen, and I think it's just a matter of time that the players agree for a
24 is
draw.
just a
It doesn't
draw.
matter how
Oh,
many seconds
queen
they
e1,
have
queen
now.
g3.
And I think we're going to see a repetition right here.
Yeah, the yo-yo string. Queen slides the g3 check back to e1. If it was black's move, white might be the first to give these.
All right, guys, that was the Title Tuesday 1 and some commentary on the current Masters qualifier, knockouts, finals, whatever. I don't know what they call it. Tournament, and I'll see you guys second TT, okay? I'll see you guys. Hope you enjoy the stream.